ask yourself, what is going on here? What is wrong with this picture? But I guess when it rains, it pours, because I just got back my fixed amplifier for one of my tower speakers, and I start walking on the carpet in the front, and it's like soaking wet. So it rained like 2 weeks straight around where I live, and water decided to make its way into this into here, and totally, you know, now we have to pull the rug. We had to get rid of the pad that was under the rug. We're trying to get the water out with a dehumidifier and a bunch of like industrial fans. There's like a sump in there in that step that had to be demolished, and some guys are gonna be looking at that and see why it's not working. I don't know if you can probably see it a little bit. Well, anyway, you can kind of see a little bit in there. There's a sump in there, and well, it didn't do what it was supposed to do. But anyway, this is the on this channel I try to show you the good and the bad. You know, this is what I would consider to be one of the big speed bumps that you occasionally get. And they had to cut a hole into that wall to see if the water was coming in from this wall in the front, because the water was sort of concentrating in the front of the room and to that side over there, which led us to believe that it was coming from the sump. But you know, we're not entirely sure what's happening, but right now this place is a mess. So yeah, that is an update. Hopefully this gets resolved soon and I can just start enjoying the theater again. But unfortunately, this, as you can see, it's a huge mess in here. I really can't think of another like YouTube, like home theater YouTube channel that's going to show you this kind of stuff, like the good and the bad, the mundane and the disastrous. You know, you know, I'm here to show you what they discovered what the problem is, and turns out it's I don't know if you can see it up there, but there is like a hairline crack in our foundation. And that needs to be repaired, you know, with some kind of special epoxy. It's noisy in here because we got like fans still drying the carpet. But yeah, this is sort of like familiar to the time when we recently like did a renovation to this room that made the walls black, and that we painted the whole walls. This obviously is going to be redone. As you can see. You can see the double drywall right there very clearly, and you can kind of make obviously the rock, you can see a little bit of the rock wall insulation right there, like there, but you know, that gives you kind of a peek into what's going on with soundproofing in this room. And see, that's sort of how it would look. That's the thickness of the drywall, which is, you know, that's why I don't get any complaints of sound. It's because of this situation we got going on with the soundproofing. And but yeah, it's unfortunate. We got a crack, and we're hoping to get that fixed by the end of the week, not by the end of next week, I should say, and hopefully have the theater back running maybe in a week or 2 weeks probably. A week is pretty ambitious, I think, but definitely, I think a week from now, definitely 2 weeks from now, I think it's doable. And to have this theater done again, and rocking and rolling, and really looking forward to that. You know, I get like I mentioned earlier in the video, I get the amplifier for one of my speakers back, and then this starts happening. The flood's all flooded and stuff, and as you can see, we got like industrial like blowers blowing the rug up from underneath it to try to get the rug dry. We're gonna we're pretty much gonna professionally clean this rug to get it, you know, back to like the way it was. But you know, it is what it is. You know, you got stuff in the basement. Sometimes this kind of thing happens, and I'm trying to document everything so you guys can see that I'm not hiding. I'm not just showing you the good stuff. I'm also showing you the unfortunate stuff as well. But yeah, there you go. That's your problem right there. So it's been now a full a week since the theater's been out of commission, and it's painful. Let me just tell you. They had to remove a whole step. See, as you can see, there's a step over there. Obviously the chairs are all the way up here. The step's gone. You can see under the vacuum there, you can see a little bit of the sump that's in here. That wasn't the problem. The problem was a crack, like I mentioned earlier in the video. But again, I'm just saying that, you know, the theater's still a mess. But you know, brighter things are going to be happening with the theater. We're going to have the entire carpet shampooed and cleaned. We're going to have the carpeting on the top row area cleaned as well and shampooed. We're going to touch up any black paint that's been scuffed up due to all this construction, and probably do a thorough cleaning. Obviously, we're going to patch up this wall to the same standards as it was before, meaning double drywall with green glue and all that stuff. Not green glue, but the carpet glue and all that. And, you know, new insulation, because the insulation that was in this wall was damaged due to all the water coming through. I mean, let me tell you, when you walked on here, you could hear the water like, every time you take a step, you'd be like, you could hear it. You could hear every footstep. It was like soaked. It wasn't like standing water or anything. It wasn't like anything. It really wasn't like crazy amounts of water in here, but it was certainly the super wet rug. Not a good, it's not what you want to have in your theater. Now I'll take you upstairs to see what's going to be done on the outside of the wall to prevent this from happening again. And obviously they're going to put some kind of epoxy or something inside of the crack here. If you see right there's the crack, and it's kind of going down. If you follow it, it's going down, pretty almost to the bottom of the wall. And they're gonna put some kind of epoxy, like, I don't know how they do it, but they're gonna use vacuums or high pressure to get it deep inside the crack, and to make sure this doesn't happen again. Because wow, this really sucks. Let me tell you, if this has not happened to your theater, count your blessings, because it sucks. You know, best to see it happen to me than to happen to you, I guess. But anyway, that's the update. Let me I'm going to show you what we're doing outside to remedy the situation here. I'm basically right where the theater is. That wall right there is the theater wall. And they dug all the way down to the bottom of the cement. They're going to add a new layer of some kind of extra protection, some kind of, I don't know, like sealant or something that's gonna hopefully prevent this from ever happening again. On top of the crack, actually repairing the crack with like an epoxy. So unfortunately that's the best view I can give you, but it is all the way down to the bottom of that wall, which I haven't seen since they started building the house years ago. Anyway, this is the next day, and as you can see, most of the stuff on this floor, most of the stuff on this on the upper level of the theater has been taken out. This stuff I'll take out myself a little later, and yeah, it's kind of giving me like some, earlier vibes of how the theater was when we were building it, and you see all the markings on the floor of where I think the speakers are gonna go and stuff. We got, I think we had something there with a speaker, and it's yeah, you can see the sump there clearly now, where the step usually goes. And yeah, this is it's kind of bitter. It's bittersweet. I'm happy that we're actually we found the problem and we're gonna be able to fix it relatively quickly. So I'm hoping the theater's out of commission only like maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 at most, because we want to get it back, at least as good as it was, if not better. But yeah, and we'll have an opportunity to shampoo the rugs and stuff. You can see we found a ton of popcorn here, which I have to vacuum up. And yeah, anyway, that's another update. Let's hopefully I come back with a little more progress, and a little more stuff has been done, and you know, the movie watching can continue. Anyway, so man, this stuff was creating some massive fumes. So the epoxy has been put in, and as you can see, I have no idea. Apparently it dries really quickly, but it stinks like super strong chemical smell. And yeah, so hopefully it's gonna be raining in the next couple of days, so we're gonna wait and to make sure that that it worked, the fix where, you know, is holding, and make sure that no more water comes in, and then they're gonna come and do the drywall work. And let me see. I'll show you where we put all this stuff in the meantime. Had to open the doors over there to get the fumes out. So the gym is now somewhat of a theater, you know, storage room. All the chairs, I got the subs in here. Some of the acoustic paneling was there. And yeah, so glad we have this room. Not gonna get a lot of use. Haven't been using it that much except for this machine. But as you can see, I honestly couldn't help myself. So stay tuned. That's a little hint of the future there, of what's coming up. After this whole experience of, you know, the theater, you know, practically getting destroyed, I felt like it deserved a bit of an upgrade. So stay tuned, and this is coming soon. All right, go ahead and show you the progress of what's going on out here. So they took, see that black stuff that actually stinks? It's got a lot of fumes. I can smell the fumes. Some kind of sealant that was put in right where the crack occurred, and I guess in the adjacent wall there. But hopefully this does not happen again. So here's fingers crossed. It's been about 3 to 4 days since my last update, and yes, the wall is still hasn't been fixed, but I think that's happening either tomorrow or late tomorrow. Would be Saturday, so maybe not tomorrow, but you know, hopefully early next week, to maybe start getting stuff back into the room late next week, and maybe watch the first movie next weekend. That would be ideal. Since we are going through all this, we come up with a couple of decided to make a few changes. For one, we decided to, you know, obviously since I have a Definitive Technology speaker that's powered, we decided to run a power extension to back here, and we made it recessed. So, you know, just to have, not to have dangling cables down. And we also moved the speaker connector to behind the speaker to, again, you know, not have dangling wires, to have it more of a finished look. So that was a tiny little upgrade that we're doing. We also had the rug shampooed. It's never been shampooed. I know it's only been installed for 2 years now, but you know, since everything was out, we thought, why not? We got it professionally shampooed. We had this part of the rug cleaned and shampooed outside of this room, since we had to remove it anyway. So we had it done somewhere else in the house. And yeah, so, you know, plan is to, you know, touch up everything, fix this wall, and just, you know, make sure everything looks okay again. We're gonna hang up the, you know, acoustic treatments again and start bringing chairs back in. Obviously, again, the step needs to be rebuilt. And I think the lighting under the stairs, I guess the second level here needs to be fixed, because it was ripped out to, you know, see what was going on with this step here. So there's a bit to do still, but I think, you know, I feel optimistic that maybe next weekend I might be able to watch a movie in here. That would be really cool, but, you know, if not, I'd rather it get done properly than, you know, rush anything. That's just the way I feel. I also just noticed the corner of the screen keeps popping out. I gotta Gotta mess with the bracket that's holding it in. I'll do that at some point. And yeah, I guess you guys have never seen that. But we have an electrical connection under the chair, so we're not having wires running. So that's how we did that. No wires going back. So again, we kind of thought as much as we could when we were building the theater. You know, it's when you're building a new house, you just got to do all this stuff. You got to think ahead as much as possible to try to, like, you know, make your vision a reality. And again, yeah, there's and we have that's the power for the front row of chairs down there. Anyway, that's the update for now. Okay, so it's been like another 3, maybe 4 more days, and a little more work has happened. As you can see, the big hole that was in our wall is now patched up with double drywall and the insulation, and the rock wool insulation. And down there we had a hole. We moved up the speaker connector up to where the center speaker is, so you don't see cables dangling. That was patched up as well. And we're still waiting to get this step rebuilt. But yeah, I guess we're gonna this is just storage. This is still curing and drying, and this needs to be repainted. They're gonna touch up all this areas and stuff, rehang the acoustic panels that were taken down on this wall, and I guess put a new carpet pad, and then reinstall the carpeting once this is all done. And you know, I thought that maybe we would have our theater back by this weekend. Today is Tuesday. I don't see it happening by this weekend. It may be the weekend after this weekend, or sometime mid of next week. I don't see it happening, but you never know. A miracle could happen. They could just, but it is slowly happening, and it's slowly becoming a theater again. And at least one that will not flood, or not flood, but will not leak rainwater inside, because this is actually the lowest part of the house. This step down is the lowest part of the house. So it's the next day, and a little more progress has been made. You know, the wall has been painted. It's actually very freshly painted just now. Again, they painted over that area over there under the little square that was cut off, and you know, I think that's about it. I think they had to, with this black paint, you have to put on several coats, so it's not the most straightforward process. And I think they did some touching up throughout the room to make it a little more, I mean, this is like the excuse to do a full refresh, I suppose, of the room, as opposed to just you know, how often hopefully this is the last time this room is this torn apart, where we can actually do something like this. That's the thing about black paint is, like, it's you know, you can see a fingerprint magnet. Hopefully that just cleans off. You know, you just touch it. You barely touch the paint, and it's like, you know, you can see your fingerprints. It's one of the downsides, but you know, obviously it's worth it for the contrast benefits for a projector system. So anyway, so that's the update. Hopefully next update there's more, maybe a carpet. That'd be cool. But we're getting closer, hopefully pretty soon. Well, I am happy to report that the theater is completed again. All of the damage that was caused by the water seeping in from the foundation wall has been repaired. Everything's put back together. We even got a new upgrade with new speakers, DM80s here, Definitive Technology DM80s. Stay tuned for the review on that. I'm really excited. And you know, the room feels just as good as it ever has been in the past. Carpet was shampooed here, looks perfect, feels perfect. Even the top, even the second row carpeting was shampooed as well. So the room is pretty much as good as new, basically. and even better because of the upgraded speakers. Did a little bit of cable management in here. I got some really short cables for the speakers. There's just 18-inch speaker cables, and the step there was the step sort of got an upgrade. Now it can be removed much easier. Before, to get it out, they basically had to demo the steps. We remade the steps such that if you need to access the sump under here, all you have to do is remove that molding under the light there, and then lift the entire piece out. Obviously, I've been told it weighs a ton, but it can be done a lot easier and in a less destructive manner. But yeah, so anyway, the theater is finally done again, and I don't know. It's been a ride. It's been like 3.5 to 4 weeks of the entire process. It's just taken. It honestly took a little longer than I thought, but again, it was done, very well, and everything is back to normal as it was, and in some ways even better because of the speakers, like I mentioned. And but yeah, so I'm gonna wrap it up there. If you have any questions about anything that was done here, the repair that we did to the foundation, feel free to leave them in the comments. It really helps a lot if you can like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.